For the past 2 weeks in the Continental Wrestling Federation, there have been rumors of a serious injury suffered by Eddie Gilbert. After researching this situation extensively, we know that Eddie Gilbert has spent some time recently in Caraway Methodist Hospital here in Birmingham undergoing tests. And I think at this time, Eddie came to Joe and I before the show. He wants some time to talk to the wrestling fans of the Continental Wrestling Federation. And without any further ado, I think you know the story.
Eddie, you were in a very serious car accident. I believe it was about 6 years ago. I think everyone knows that at that time, the doctors told you that you would not wrestle again, but you proved them wrong. And now we hear, and I want to repeat, we hear, and we heard from the hospital that you went back in for more tests. You told us you wanted time on today's show to talk about your injury. Everybody's been talking about it. Tell us what's going on with Eddie Gilbert.
Okay, Joe, first of all, Charlie, I talked to you two at the start of the evening before this television broadcast. I asked you for the time. Both of you could have told Eddie Gilbert to go take a hike. You gave me a chance to come out here and say what I want to say. I'm going to say it, then I'm going to leave you alone. You can think what you want to. You can do what you want to. I don't care. First of all, in the past career of Eddie Gilbert, I've done a lot of things, and I'm not going to stand here and I'm not going to say I'm not proud of them, because if I had them all to do over again, I would do the same thing. Because I got where I am today by being number one and being the best that I am and being at the best that I can do. But as you said, a few years back, Charlie knows this, I had a car accident. I broke my neck. The doctors told me then, Eddie Gilbert, your career is finished. With the help of Bob Backlund in the WWF, he brought me back. I came back to professional wrestling. But then, I guess it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was, I'm taking a chance at this. I'm saying maybe in a match of Willie B. Hurt in Columbus, Mississippi is what I'm saying. It was where it probably happened. I was run into the wall outside the ring head first. And that happening, it smashed my head right into my shoulders. It knocked, and you know, in the back of your neck, you got your vertebrae all the way up and down your back. In the car wreck, I broke the C5 vertebrae, and in Columbus, Mississippi, what the doctors tell me is I chipped that C5 vertebrae again. It hit the nerves. I've got tingling sensations in my arm. And what the doctor said is, Eddie Gilbert, you don't realize one more lick in the back of your neck or one more lick on your back and your career is finished. It is over. I don't blame anybody here. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't blame anybody at home if they're sitting right now and they're cheering and they're clapping, because I'll tell you, I'm one of the dirtiest. I always will be. I'm one of the most dirtiest, the most rottenest wrestlers in professional wrestling. I probably deserve more than anything what's happened to me.
You'll excuse me if I'm a little skeptical.
I can understand. What do you mean? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, let's face it, Eddie. In the past 8 weeks, we've seen you come out here, and we've seen you beat up a 14-year-old boy. We've seen you beat up one of the legends of wrestling in the Alabama area. We saw you take a photographer who was here to make a presentation to Austin Idol and ruin that and beat him up. We have seen you do every dirty trick that I have ever seen in my life. And now you come out here and you tell us you're injured and, you know, what it's going to mean. And I'm sorry, but I'm a little skeptical.
Okay, I tell you what. Well, I don't blame you. I don't blame anybody from being that way about me, because if I'd be the first one at home saying right now, watch this guy.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, maybe by doing this, maybe I'll hush up everybody for the time being on this first announcement that I'm going to make right now.
This is the check for $25,000.
This is the check for $25,000. That it started out as $10,000 when Eddie Gilbert came here. It's $25,000 now. Nobody, but nobody was ever able to pin me. Now, you can say what you want to, that it may have been Willie B. Hurt, it may have been Johnny Rich, it may have been Austin Idol, that did this to my neck, but I'm going to give this check to you, Charlie Platt. You hold this check. You take this check. You take the $25,000. Joe, you and Charlie, if you decide that Johnny Rich, Willie B. Hurt, or Austin Idol deserve the money, you give it to them. If you think the CWF needs the money, you give it to them.
Now, what does Paul Dangerously think? I mean, this is the money that you two have put up. What does he think about the fact you're out here giving away $25,000? I know Paulie Dangerously, he'd kill for $25,000. What does he think about the fact you're out here giving it away?
Well, Paul E. and I had a discussion at the earlier part of the week about this. He knows all about this. I can say that we are in a disagreement about this. We are. We are not a total agreement on what I'm doing right now or what I'm saying. What I want to do is get into another part. This is probably the biggest announcement ever in my career since I've been in professional wrestling. Coming up Monday night here in the Boutwell Auditorium in Birmingham, Alabama, probably the biggest spectacular ever in wrestling. The CWF heavyweight champion will be decided. I'm seated number 3 in it. I've worked hard since I've been in professional wrestling to get anything I can.
But you're injured.
That's right. That's what I'm getting to right now. I'm a very injured man. The doctor tells me one more lick and I'm out of it. If I do not win the CWF heavyweight title here Monday night, October the 3rd, Eddie Gilbert's name will be stricken from the records of wrestling. I will step down. My career will be over at the age of 27 years old. Let me tell you, I'm very serious about this. If I don't win it, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I've talked over everybody. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. We'll see you Monday night. Thanks.
Well, Charlie, the doctors have told him that if he takes another hard hit on that neck, it could be all over. $25,000. I would bet you that right this minute, Paulie Dangerously is in the back running into walls.
I know for a fact some serious things are coming down in the career and personal life of Eddie Gilbert with this. We've got more great action in the Continental Wrestling Federation. We'll discuss this a little more later. You stay with us.